And we welcome you back to Newsmax Now. I'm John Bachman, Miranda Khan. It's time for our rehash segment where we take you through what's trending on Twitter and social media, the Twitter, some folks call it.
Tweet, tweet, tweet away. Americans united under the hashtag Boston Strong at yesterday's marathon. Take a look. Boston Marathon bombing survivor Rebecca Gregory inspired many as she crossed the finish line. Great to see that. This morning, she tweeted out, "The finish line was just the beginning because this is the start of the rest of my life, and I'm going into it stronger than ever."
And I don't know if you got a chance to see the video of her crossing the finish line and breaking down there.
Just
amazing to
tore you
watch. It's emotional, but inspiring at the same time. And, when you're sitting on the couch, don't want to exercise, and you see these folks out there running a marathon with prosthetic limbs, really inspiring stuff. So it was great to see her and all the other victims too who were there yesterday participating in the event as well as last year. Really inspiring to see. And we'll talk about this a little bit more coming up in the next hour. We have Ed Berliner with us. All right, let's move on with everybody's support on social media. It was also flooded with images of the way Americans were going Boston Strong, some painting their toenails, as you see right here with Run Boston Strong and 26.2. Right there, we assume that's at Fenway Park. Also, some folks wearing the colors in a very bespoke fashion. Whoever that gentleman was, I applaud him on his commemoration of the event and also his style fashion. And even cats getting into this, of course, as they like to do on the internet there. And folks tweeting out there along the course. I heard another finisher say yesterday that they don't think there was one portion of the race where there was not somebody out there from the city of Boston or from the surrounding suburban areas cheering them on throughout the entire process, through the whole race.
And I love that image that we just showed at the flag and seeing that little girl with her hand reaching out. Those were some of the images that were retweeted the most. Governor Mike Huckabee took time also to recognize one marathoner's hard work, tweeting this: "Congratulations to Alice on your Boston Marathon finish. Hard work truly pays off." Alice Stewart served as Huckabee's spokesperson during his last presidential campaign.
Also today we mentioned this is the beginning of the Boston Marathon penalty phase for Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the bombing trial there. You can see protesters gathering outside the federal courthouse. I think we had that there. You can see them lining up. This is also a big deal on social media yesterday. Extra death penalty protesters outside the federal courthouse as we begin the penalty phase. This was today. This is Dan Housel. He's a reporter for 7 News there in Boston, a local NBC affiliate, I believe. So we've heard this debate about the death penalty in this case. We've heard some folks here on Newsmax TV say this could be the tipping point because we have victims, including the parents of the youngest victim.
Who want life.
Yeah, Martin Richard. They are saying it's time for life in prison for this guy. All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back here very soon for the second hour of Newsmax Now. John Bachman, Miranda Khan will be joined by Ed Berliner after some news headlines coming up at the top of the hour. Stay with us.
Women and children first. The orderly commands given that fateful April day in 1912 as the RMS Titanic began to sink after hitting an iceberg. Hours later, over 1,500 passengers and crew had perished in the chilly North Atlantic. The Titanic's sinking is well known, but few know of the permanent reminder of this infamous tragedy that stands not far from the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Weeks after the Titanic disaster, a group of American women organized the Titanic Memorial Committee. Soon, women all across the nation tirelessly collected $1 at a time from grief-stricken Americans who admired the heroism of the brave men who voluntarily gave up their lifeboat seats. First Lady Helen Taft is said to have donated the very first dollar for construction of the memorial. Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney, of the prominent Vanderbilt family, designed the striking 13-foot-tall male figure with arms outstretched. Carved by Boston sculptor John Horrigan in 1918 from Rhode Island granite, the statue was finally erected in 1930 after 20 years of quarreling over where to put it. Today, it stands overlooking the Potomac River on Washington's waterfront. An inscription reads, "To the brave men who perished in the wreck of the Titanic, they gave their lives that women and children might be saved." The Titanic Memorial stands as a monument to the perished and the sacrifice of those who gallantly stepped aside so others would live. For Newsmax TV, I'm Lucy Celia, and this is An American Place.